Okay. All right.
All righty now.
Cool. Yes, it's extremely hot, and
Hot,
even
sticky.
more so, sticky and humid.
Yeah.
You know where, considering I've lived here, there, and everywhere, I've lived on two different Caribbean islands. Jersey, New York City, Quebec, Montreal. You know where the most oppressive heat I've ever felt was?
Where?
Montreal.
No kidding.
Montreal in July.
Wow.
I thought I was going to just
Melt.
melt out of my skin.
That's amazing.
It was crazy.
Because winter's extreme cold.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Wow. So they go from literally one extreme to the other.
And everybody in Montreal has cabin fever because really it starts to snow, at least when I was there back in 95, 96, or there would be snow flurries starting up, like October, right?
Yeah.
And then once the winter really kicked in, which for them was really, end of November, December, there was never a day where it didn't flurry or snow. Then there was the outright snowstorms, but it didn't stop snowing until like April, May.
Wow.
And the ball fields were treated like landfills. They had big, huge top loaders and, bulldozers, and they just hundreds of thousands of tons of snow. Just amazing. But in the summertime, Phil, everybody had a flower display. Everybody, because they had cabin fever. I mean, flowers were hanging out of, apartment buildings and windows on stoops. And of course, unlike where we live in Jersey, there were no deer to eat the goddamn flowers. So
Wow.
Montreal, biggest, best flower display ever, but it went from like June to September. And then it was time for the cabin again.
Did they know how to take? I mean, this is a silly question. Did they know how to take care of the snow? Like, a lot of states, they say, "Oh, it snows a lot." Yeah, but they know how to take care of it. Like, they come with the plows.
Listen,
Or when the snow came, were you regulated?
apparently, speaking of Montreal, because I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, while I was doing my fellowship at McGill, I surgically took care of the children that went all the way up from the Canadian border, all the way up north of the Arctic Circle. And it was the Inuit tribe, and the Inuit tribe is more commonly or in a derogatory way. Americans don't know it's derogatory, but it's the Eskimo tribe. Don't call them Eskimos, because apparently Eskimo is translated to eaters of raw meat. It was a derogatory kind of yeah.
I have friends who are currently Eskimos.
Currently?
Well, they eat raw meat just about.
Oh.
Yeah. They're a little barbaric. Yeah. So
Right.
I guess I could see that.
No, but so the Eskimos, the Inuit apparently have 20 different terms for snow. Okay, we understand that there's granular snow, there's powder for the ski conditions, there's icy snow, there's slush, but apparently they, so that speaks to the question, do Canadians have a better way of handling snowfall than Americans? I would say that's true.
necessity.
Anywhere south of, the upper tier of American states, because let's face it, what does a border mean weather-wise? Nothing, right? But I wouldn't say that, people in the southern aspects of New York know what they know in Plattsburgh. There's no way.
Absolutely.
There's no way.
What was the coldest it got out there, John?
The coldest I remember without wind chill was minus 30.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah, oh yeah, and well, here's what Canadians know about weather like that. You're not going to be good in a down ski jacket. No, no. You better have something heavier, and you better have it layered, and there better be some really good like wool or some newer tech like Thinsulate or something, because just Americans go out and they complain that it's cold. They have no boots, they have no gloves, they got no hat, their collars are open, they got a flimsy ski jacket, zipped down to their belly button with a shirt like this under it, and they it's so cold. Now Canadians are much more. They have much more wherewithal for the weather, and as a testament to how bad the weather is up there, Montreal basically has an underground city, so you can get from point A to point B and never come up to the surface. Oh yeah.
That's amazing, John. I mean, that's why the hockey players, they used to play. A lot of guys I know, Scott Stevens, they played with no socks out there in the outdoor ponds.
That's interesting.
And they brought it to the NHL, no socks.
Right.
Crazy.
Wow.
Hey, listen, at my age, 55 is too cold now. I start getting cold. I'm always cold.
Well, you know what? I have to admit, I'm still. One day, I guess this will change. Maybe when I'm a geezer, and can't take care of myself.
Well,
But I'm a man of extreme weathers. I love Montreal in the winter, and I love Florida in the summer. I do. Yeah, I just do. Yeah.
I was on a Florida beach in August.
John and Phil, I have a request.
Okay.
I work in the countdown today for the Jersey Alchemist.
I don't have a problem with that.
All right.
Okay?
Okay, but you butt in again. All right. Okay.
5, 4, 2, 3, 1.
Where did he learn how to count?
Did you fail math?
Did you take me?
Were you nervous? All right, I'll lay off.
Wow.
Hey, friends, welcome back to another episode of The Jersey Alchemist. If you took notice, we had a little hiatus because we were torpedoed. And from here on in, the platform will be the term used for the people who torpedoed us. Rumble didn't torpedo us. Spotify didn't torpedo us. It's that tube platform. You know the tube platform?
The Y tube.
You know what tube platform. They torpedoed us again. They suspended us. And I've been watching a bunch of people online, and it's really out and about. It's recognized now that many podcasters are being taken down. There was a podcaster with 500,000 subscriptions, and they took them down. Now, what do you think about that, Phil?
I think we're in good company. I mean,
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
not just us.
Right.
Maybe they're picking on Jersey. You might think that, but apparently
No, yeah.
they're not picking on just the two guys from Jersey. It's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
And it really is unfair. It reminds me of North Korea, Russia, communist countries.
Totally. Yeah, like one of those Nazi communist countries where they force people to take medications that they don't want to take.
Yeah. Like when would that ever happen?
Shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. They said that happened in communist China.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and then they say, it might happen here.
And you know what gets me more angry, John? That the media, the mainstream media, is complicit.
Oh, sure.
And follows suit. Like, you're going to tell me with the issues we have with our
Right.
current president in charge that nobody knew that this guy had his train was ready to come off the tracks, so to speak.
His train wasn't on the tracks.
It wasn't even exactly. It wasn't on the tracks. Like all of a sudden, it's a big surprise. Like, wow, how did that happen?
I know.
You know.
I know, and
Hey.
and everybody's. I just,
Wait.
Go ahead.
I just looked to my left. This guy's wearing he's got hair. He's got a wig on.
He's got a wig on. It's not a. He's not a she today. Yeah. No.
What?
I know.
What
I
the
know.
hell's going on, John?
Well.
I mean,
Let's see.
he speaks up like that.
Well, I'm wearing long black hair in honor of one of my mentors. Yes, Grandma Boniva Springfield.
Boniva.
What a great cook she was. And she was my mentor in many ways. I miss my Grandma Boniva.
I bet you do.
Oh,
Wow.
What kind of name is that, John? I mean, she must have been a
Well,
great lady.
it
No
must have been.
disrespect.
It must have been. A particular ethnic name. I don't want to get.
Sounds kind of Eskimo-ish.
No, it
Is
doesn't.
that what we're doing here? Is
No,
that what's going on?
No, it doesn't.
okay.
I don't think it does.
Hello, boys.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, today's July 18th.
It
Next
is.
week is Shark Week. You know I love Shark Week. I wait for it every July.
Yeah. Well, what? How do we go from? All right. Well, okay. Phil mentioned the wig. You told us it was Grandma Boniva, and you miss her. She was a great cook. And then, boom, Shark Week. Okay, it is July 18th, and I did happen to notice that next week begins Shark Week. Wow. So, Phil, anything to say about Shark Week?
Yeah, there's a lot of sharks out there now. I mean, chomping on Jersey and New York beachgoers.
For real?
Oh yeah,
Like,
really?
really?
Oh yeah, yeah. They
Wow.
just shut down 2 beaches on Long Island this weekend. Shark sightings. I mean,
Really?
so- yeah. 'cause
For real?
Everybody's talking about punching them in the nose.
Oh, wow.
The sharks.
Oh, Philip. Oh, John. Tell us about the famous Mattawan Creek shark attack story. Do you know it?
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
told this for years. My grandfather, way back, told me about it. But truth be told, I was alive when it happened.
You what? You were? Get out. Phil, do you know the story?
He might. No, I've heard about it, but I've never. I don't know the actual story. Do you know it?
Well, I've heard the story so many times, and it's funny. One of my former associates, who was of Irish American extraction, was an orthopedic surgeon, and one time he heard me talking in the summer about the Mattawan Creek shark attack, and he looked at me and he went, he goes, "That's an Italian story." He goes, "My wife's Italian." He goes, and all her relatives talk about the Mattawan Creek. That's all anybody knows is the Mattawan Creek this, Mattawan Creek that.
Didn't Christopher Columbus sail down the Mattawan Creek? Maybe that's why. I mean, is that why he's just a little jealous?
Maybe he did. Yeah, maybe he did. I don't know.
Wow, I didn't know he was an Italian.
What happened to her?
Your grandmother.
Maybe this is why I brought up Shark Week. Grandma Boniva was swimming off the coast of New Jersey, just off Belmar, New Jersey.
Belmar.
And she was viciously attacked by a shark,
Oh no.
and she died.
Oh
This
God.
is why I just can't get Shark Week out of my head.
My God, Bones.
Yeah.
I thought you just, you liked the spectacle of Shark Week, but you really have some deep-seated, issues with.
There's a story there.
There's a story. Now I understand why you got.
Yeah, but
Now,
not-
is that Grandma Boniva's wig, or are you just wearing a wig because Grandma Boniva had long dark hair? Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Wow. That's crazy.
or are you just feeling like the opposite sex today? What do they call it, John? When you recognize yourself as maybe we got to call him Boniva. I don't know what's going on.
No.
here.
Well. Yeah. No.
I mean, listen, I had a grandmother too, but I'm not wearing skirts. You know what I mean?
I think he's going to give you the elbow,
That wouldn't be the first time.
and
Wouldn't be the
he'll
first
go
time.
into the box for 2 minutes, penalty box.
Yeah, but John, do you know that Mattawan story?
Well, I do. Yeah.
Would you like to discuss it? I
And
mean,
sure.
Yeah, 'cause I don't
Now,
watch it.
I did recently read, because they're starting to advertise Shark Week on TV and all over the internet, and they're advertising it on the platform. Back in, the year was 1916. It was the east coast of the United States of America, specifically the coast of New Jersey, the mid-Atlantic state of New Jersey. And within a 4-day period, 5 people were attacked by sharks, 4 of which died. It stunned the people of the day, and flotillas were launched to kill any shark they could find. Yeah, so apparently the first attack, people hear about Mattawan Creek, they don't realize it was a series of attacks. The first attack was on a gentleman swimming in the ocean in Long Beach Island. I think it was Beach Haven.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where Gene Ferraro used to go with his family. By the way, it's his birthday today.
No
Oop,
freaking
I
way.
just broke HIPAA regulations. Oops, sorry.
Wow.
And,
How old's Gene? What,
Well,
75, 82?
well, I think he's four years older than me, so maybe he's 66.
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first person, they, I believe they pulled him out of the water, but he died. He died of his injuries. And then either the same day or another day or two later, somebody swimming off the beach in Spring Lake, which is right next to Belmar. Oh my God. Wow. Maybe this person knew Grandma Boniva, or maybe Boniva knew of this story. Well, anyway, this guy gets attacked, and they pull him into the lifeguard boat. I guess he was getting chomped on by the time they got the lifeguard boat out of there, because how many people on the lifeguard stand would jump in with thrashing and screaming and blood and a big dorsal fin out there? It takes, a special person. Maybe the Navy SEALs with their weapons would go in, and they probably would. They would have no reason not to, but
Maybe headed to the car.
to the boardwalk.
Yeah.
And they dragged him into the boat, but he died of his injuries. And then a day or two after that, which was, I don't know if it was July 6th, I'm not sure, but the Matawan Creek, which I think is 4 or 5 miles from the mouth of the Matawan estuaries that led to the bay that leads to the ocean, it was a hot summer day, and kids used to kind of, the story I know, and I've read this, is that they had kind of a rope on a tree, and they would swing on the rope like you've seen YouTube videos, and they would launch themselves into the creek. It was a mud hole creek. That's what it was, with little estuaries to the greater creeks, down to the bay, and then into the ocean. But at best, it was fresh, brackish. It was not salt water, and everybody knew that, and it's still not salt water today. Anyway, kid jumps in, doesn't come back up. Yeah, and then apparently, I think the story goes, his friend went in looking for him, and he got it too. And I think they were like 10 and 11 years old. Now, for years, I've heard that it was a bull shark. I heard it was a tiger shark. But in more recent descriptions, and I don't know what changed, they think it was a great white shark that went all the way up into the Matawan Creek from the Atlantic Ocean, which, that's crazy.
Will the shark do that because they're hungry, like they're searching for food? I mean,
who the hell knows? And what was going on energetically on the Jersey Shore in 1916, that 5 people, one person got attacked and lived. So that was 5 people in like 3 or 4 days, and 4 people, gonzo. So one of the authors of one of the articles that I was reading said, he goes, you have no idea the magnitude of that story. He says, I was in Great Britain like a decade ago, and he was in some store. I don't know what he was getting. And somebody, he asked, where are you from? Oh, I'm from New Jersey. Oh, yeah, where are you from? Matawan, New Jersey. And the proprietor said, Matawan, where the shark attacks happened.
Wow, no kidding.
So the author said, Matawan, New Jersey, and those shark attacks, it's taken its place in people's minds like Amityville, Long Island, the Amityville Horror. And, like the Love Canal, with the cancer clusters. And there was another famous happenstance. And maybe like 3 Mile Island, it's like Harrisburg, PA. Oh, yeah, the nuclear thing.
John, I was watching some podcast and video this weekend, and they were talking about not so much sharks, but like alligator and crocodile attacks, and how mammals and like that, their job is to hunt. That's what they do.
Yeah.
And then when a human gets attacked, we're always surprised. But what killed me is the guy had a line. He goes, everybody gets surprised when an alligator, grabs a guy or a shark bites somebody.
Right.
Like there's some kind of written agreement, like you're not supposed to do that.
Well,
Which I thought was pretty funny. Like we're always
Right.
surprised.
well, you know what? One of the lines in this article I read a couple of weeks ago, because it just came up online on my feed, was that the people on the Jersey Shore, but everywhere all over the country, when they heard that 5 people were attacked within a handful of days off the Jersey Shore, they were absolutely astounded because the scientific here's one for you science bugs out there. The science is settled. So the biologists thought the science was settled, that sharks do not attack humans. Bah! Really? Really? Let's just fast forward to the Indianapolis, which happened, long after the Matawan Creek. But how many people were lost in the Indianapolis? That's the ship that apparently delivered the nuclear bomb.
Oh wow!
I think like 800 people went into the water. 1,200 people went into the water, and the sharks killed most of them. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that horror scene?
Well, that's why I'm always surprised. If you go on different platforms, John, there's short videos of these people. I mean, let's change the subject a little bit, or the subject, not sharks, but bears. I mean, there's a lot of videos where bikers and people hiking, they're filming a shark is chasing them, and they're going, bye bear, the bear's chasing them.
Right.
Bye bear, leave us alone, bear. They're trying to make noise, and that bear just keeps coming.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what do you expect? Listen, if somebody walks through my living room,
Yeah.
there's going to be a confrontation. So when you're in the ocean or a pond in Florida,
Yeah.
or you're in the woods where a grizzly or a black bear is, you're in their home. You
Yeah.
know, that's why, me, I'm a city guy. I stay where there's pavement, I stay where concrete structures, and I have enough trouble dealing with two-legged creatures, and let alone these people that are on all fours.
Two-legged creatures.
Forget about that. No
Yeah.
way.
Well, look, you know what?
I'm no Dr. Doolittle.
I had an associate that, would say, yeah, I'm going, going away for 3 weeks. Oh, yeah, where are you going? Oh, we're going to go hiking in the Rockies. And of course, me, I'm like, hiking in the Rockies? And you'll be camping in the Rockies? Oh, yeah. I love it. Okay. You packing some big-ass heat? Like, a 45 mag, a 50 mag, like a big-ass large-bore pistol that you had better be adept at using? No. I would never do that. I would never look to defend myself by hurting or killing a mountain lion or a grizzly bear.
So he thinks there's an agreement.
So he says, they sell at the clubhouse, at the base of the mountains where you park and you register. He goes, they sell bear spray. I says, does the bear spray work on mountain lions?
Yeah.
Do they know?
I hope so.
Do they know? And he said, oh, I don't know. Why are you talking about mountain lions? I said, are you kidding me? You think you can defend yourself from a 230-pound mountain lion, or a 500 or 600-pound bear? No. So you know what? I love animals and I respect them so much, but anything that could attack me, maim me, end my life, I generally choose to stay away from. I see these idiots on African safaris in these open-top Jeeps, and there's like 6 people packed into a Jeep with some, guide, doing the stick shift thing, and they're parked 14 feet away from a pride of lions who are sitting there, panting in the sun with the flies all around them. 14 feet it's like 3 arms lengths or 4 arms lengths. I said,
seconds away.
what? I remember Senator Ted Kennedy once went through one of those park safari jungle habitat things in a limousine, and maybe it was prophetic and a spiritual moment, but a lion attacked the limousine. This is not just your limousine, that takes the bride and groom somewhere.
Yeah.
And the lion tore the tire off the limousine, tore it off the limousine. Think about the power it takes to do that. So you want to go in an open top Jeep, and a friend of mine I used to work with said to me, "Oh, we're going on our honeymoon." "Oh, really? Where are you going?" "Oh, we're going to Africa." I'm like, please don't tell me you're going on a fucking safari. "Oh, I can't wait." Just text me when it's over. That's all.
Yeah, true,
I won't do it.
true story, John. When I was newly married, so we're going back almost 30 years, we had a dog and we had a vet. And the vet was a great guy. I tell you, he was really cared for the animals. And he went on vacation, like you said, to the Congo, to some jungle. I don't know. Well, you know what? We were due for an appointment about 2 months later. Place is boarded up and
Oh,
closed.
shit.
I'm like, what happened? I mean, everybody loved this guy in town. That's where we went. He was great. He was in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
Some gator dragged him in, twisted him around. You know what they do, that death spin?
Of course, the spiral, yeah.
They spiraled him down, and I don't know.
Did they ever recover him?
I don't think they found him, but they found like something his that was on the shore. And that was it. I mean, unless he was hiding from his first wife or the government, I mean, that's all we know. That's what that's all we know that happened from him.
I'm not laughing at that guy's misfortune.
Oh, he was a great guy.
Let's hope he is
I don't have
hiding from his
anything to
first
respect.
wife.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And that
wow.
was it. So it does happen. I mean, it's crazy. That's nuts. I used to walk my dog, up a mountain. I had 2 Rottweilers. And every day when I come from work, John, we'd go up that mountain. There was a nice trail. I could overlook everything scenic, the highways, the houses. And then one day somebody said, "Hey, did you hear about those bears they saw?" I'm like, "Where?" "Oh, on top of the hill."
Top of the hill.
In the mountain
Sure.
road. I said, "Really?" "Yeah." Well, guess what? I never walked my dogs again up that mountaintop.
Yeah.
Because I'm not taking that chance. Because as slow as I run, I'm in a lot of trouble.
Well, and plus, you could be putting your dogs in peril,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Listen, I'd anchor them to a rock and leave them there, and then I'd run away.
Have you ever thought of carrying something with you while you're hiking?
Like what? A stick?
Well,
What am I?
for instance,
Anthony?
I've done a couple of videos in parks around here, and there are bears and coyotes everywhere. And I did see, just beyond the fence in my backyard about a month and a half, 2 months ago, a big fat bobcat. And bobcats are vicious. Wow, a bobcat can take down a caribou. So anyway, I guess 2 years ago, I was walking my dogs with my daughter in a particular park, and there's this long trail up kind of a steep grade, not a mountain, but a big hill, way uphill. And she goes, "Hey, Dad, look." And at the top of the hill, sitting just like your pet would be waiting for you, at the door, was a big coyote. Wow. And he was just sitting there looking over the valley. Probably, and all around that trail was underbrush and tall grass, which means rabbits, snakes, squirrels, chipmunks, everything for that coyote to get healthy on. And I thought, I'll be damned. Like, I wasn't surprised that there was a coyote there, but I thought, something? I've seen enough videos on the platform to know that wild animals that are predators, if they're unsuccessful at procuring sustenance, they go into starvation mode, and now they're attacking anything they can because they're fighting for their lives. So you can't pack heat in a local park because you'll get arrested and then it'll be in the newspaper. And I don't really even want to carry a knife that would be illegal by its length. So when I do go, in each pocket I have a good old Stanley screwdriver. Yeah, and I got like a 6-inch screwdriver and an 8-inch screwdriver. And you know something? It's got a nice handle. And if anything decides it wants to have me, it's going to eat a Stanley screwdriver. And when the adrenaline's running, that screwdriver is a lethal weapon. And if anybody catches me, they'll say, hey, what's in your pocket? Oh, geez, my screwdriver. Yeah, I was just working on something.
A snap-on tool set.
A snap-on tool set.
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm sorry, John.
No, go.
Have you ever heard like a coyote or somebody? Like, have you heard that growl?
No, but
It is a growl.
in the woods behind my house at night,
Yeah.
for years, I've heard what now I know are fox screams and yells, and also, if you look up the sounds that bobcats make, sometimes you really can't tell whether it's a bobcat or a fox. But given the fact that I've only seen one bobcat in 11 years in this particular area, and I see fox all the time, it's probably a fox. But they sound like there's a baby getting strangled or choked or knifed in the woods. It's pretty ugly.
Where I live now, it's kind of on a mountain, a lot of woods. I recently saw a massive bear running across the street. All right, I almost drove off the road.
Really?
But I used to walk my dog across the street, and one time I was walking, and it was about a year ago because it was summertime, and we had the same path, regular street, houses, everything.
right.
And we passed this row of bushes, and I'm telling you, there was a growl from. I don't know how the dog didn't hear it or see it, but there was a growl, so low but so deep
Yeah.
and ferocious.
Right.
I was like, "Are you?" I haven't walked a dog in over a year. That's it. I'm not doing it.
I believe.
And it turns out, if you go on the community websites,
Mm-hmm.
that's all there was. There was a pack of coyotes they saw that
Yeah.
were attacking all the dogs, the rabbits, and stuff
Right.
like that.
Well, you got to really be careful with your cats and your dogs because bears are generally not going to come in and try to eat your French poodle. They could easily, right?
Yeah.
But really, the coyotes have taken many, many, many pets, and even a large male, a healthy male fox will have your cat for dinner, no question. And I've seen those videos on the platform. Yes.
The platform also shows big birds, large birds.
Oh, sure.
Predators.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, there's eagles all over New Jersey. They just seem to be avoiding me. But I got hawks everywhere, including on my roof. Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever seen, well, there's a funny video of some guy puttering around his house, and he walks in front of his house across his driveway, like I think he was within arm's length of his garage door, walking to the corner of the house. And while he's walking to the corner of the house to go to the backyard, there's a black bear walking up from the backyard, and he's hugging the house, and they both meet at the corner. And they both scare each other and go running.
Yeah, for the most part, black bears, they say you can scare them away. The grizzlies, you got no shot. Polar bears are the worst, they say, out of all three. I don't think I'll be running.
According to Joe Rogan, I think it was Joe Rogan, he says grizzlies will maul you.
Podcaster I used to like. Go ahead.
Yeah, he said grizzlies will maul you. We all know that. They'll tear your face off. He says, but black bears will, I think he said, they'll skin you alive. He said they are like relentless vicious. So that's interesting. And another video that I can't, this video is to me less about, when people meet predators, right? It's more about the stupidity of people that put themselves into those positions where there's a catastrophe. So there's a video on the platform that is from around 1974 or 1975. And if you don't have a real strong constitution, don't look it up. I just asked you not to look at the traffic accident, okay? Everybody looks. But if you search man eaten by lions in front of family, that should teach you, don't go on a safari. Don't go on a safari, no way. So here are these people in Europe, and they're all in these little tiny European, mini cars, and then there's a Jeep-esque, I don't know, Land Rover or something with, I think it had chain link on it, and the curators, the guards, were sitting in that thing, and all of the cars were kind of led in by the guides to kind of pull in, and they were kind of like telling them to come in, so you can get pictures of a pride of lions that was sitting there, and the male was in the center, surrounded by the females. Well, what do you think happens? Some guy in a car on the left side of the camera shot, he's with his wife and his two small children. One kid looked like she was maybe 6 or 7. The other looked like he was in a baby seat, like maybe the kid was like 2 or 3. This guy gets out of the car with an old-fashioned box camera, and he goes tiptoeing in between the cars to get a better video shot of
you want to get a close-up
of the lions. Well, the female lion, being true to who they are, because they're the ones that they outsmart the prey, one of them wasn't lying down. One of them was circling back. Ooh, I hate that word, circle back, right? And comes up in between the cars and in front of everybody. And now you would think the stupid guards would have seen this coming. And the female jumps up and boom, pushes this guy right into or toward the pride of lions. And now the guy's like fighting for his life because he hasn't fallen yet. He's got a 400-pound female lion, biting him and pushing him toward the pride, like, hey, look what I've got for lunch. And other people get out of their cars and they're whacking at this female. Then all of a sudden, they get attacked by the other lions. And this guy falls face first into the pride of lions. And honestly, the guards did nothing. They had no capability or no balls to do a thing. I guess they never imagined that they would be in this situation. Geez, I guess it's impossible to think that if you bring a bunch of numbnuts in their little tiny cars and you pull them all into within 15 feet of a full pride of lions, what could go wrong, right? I would say maybe 3 minutes, this guy was still alive and dismantled. Yeah. The male lion was between his legs and took a full chomp and bit him right between the legs. The guy's head goes up because of the pain. They got his left leg off. There goes his rib cage. There's his liver. He's in pieces. And then somebody who's filming from another car decides, let's catch the family having an ape shit over this. And they filmed the family screaming and screaming and screaming, and then they filmed the guards sitting there picking their noses. I would say the only video that ever really turned my stomach on the platform was that video.
Wow, that's horrendous.
Yeah.
John, who are these people, though? Who are these knuckleheads that do this stuff? I want to know who these people are that go hiking. I go past where I live, and there's a park lot full of people hiking. I'm afraid to go in there and get bit by a tick. I don't go anywhere near a pit. And these people go in there, and they're like, oh, this is great. Let's bring some food. Let's, hang out. These people are crazy.
I know.
People are crazy.
I know. And if you ever researched the bear attack stories, you'll find that 3 or 4 people, out in the Midwest, the Rockies, where the big brown bears, and I guess out there's black, brown, and grizzlies, right? But there'll be like maybe 2 tents full of young adults. I'm sure they've got their liquor and all that shit, and they're out there, and in the middle of the night they get attacked and get completely dismantled, taken apart. I mean, what? That's crazy.
It's insane.
Crazy.
Now, I don't know who these people are. They shouldn't be allowed to vote. That's number one. Because if you're dumb enough to do all this stuff,
right,
you shouldn't be allowed to vote. You shouldn't even have a driver's license.
Right. Now,
take them away.
Now, I think my favorite video on the internet, on the platform, is the flip side of what we're talking about, where a vicious, bloodthirsty pride of lions that's tearing apart a buffalo, right? and gobbling it down gets fucking mojo hoodwinked by a bunch of, I think they were Maasai tribesmen. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
These guys figured out, I guess over generations, that why kill yourself trying to hunt a buffalo, because the buffalo might kill you, right? Let's just follow the pride of lions. Not like that could be dangerous. And let's wait until the lions make a kill. And when the lions make a kill, we are going to go out there with our switches and our spears, and we're gonna create a scenario where our whatever you call the garb that they wear, kind of like ponchos, they're gonna walk shoulder to shoulder rhythmically, staring down the pride of lions that's tearing the buffalo apart. You know, that's when one lion's got the liver, the other's got the spleen, the intestines, all of their heads are covered, soaked in blood, right? And the tribesmen they all have machetes, right? No guns, right? And they go out there, and one by one, these lions, right in the middle of their tear apart, go like this, and they go, and one by one, they start getting mojo spooked off until all of them take off. And they got to work quick, and they hack off like a hindquarter that weighs hundreds of pounds, and they throw it up on their shoulders, and now they just sneak off the way they came in. And when I saw that, I thought, that's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. How many people could pull that off?
I guess if you grow up in that environment, it's not so hard.
I think I'd volunteer to maybe cook the meat back
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah,
Let me know when you get here.
that's crazy. John, let's alchemize.
Yeah,
What a-
gee, I guess we went a little overtime, didn't we?
Yeah, it's a fun episode, but a little gory.
Yeah.
And we talked about Grandma Boniva,
Boniva.
whatever her name is.
Bovina.
Boniva. Well, I put the Italian.
Well, I don't know, right?
You know. But please, quick alchemy. if you
A
will.
quick alchemy.
If you will.
Okay, all right. Well, thank God this episode was not political. Right. And the platform should leave us alone. I just really, truly pray that man and beast can coexist, because, like never before in my nearly 63 years on this planet, like never before, man and beast are now cohabitating in the suburbs. You got black bear and coyotes and bobcats and bald eagles and hawks of all sorts. It's not going to be long before mountain lions show up on the scene. And I just hope that everybody could get along, because, and I mean that. And people say, well, you're seeing all of this wildlife because urban sprawl is turning into suburban sprawl, into developing the mountaintops and the forests and the lakes and the rivers. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. Or, maybe there's just an explosion of the population of predatory animals. I don't know the answer. Somebody more familiar with the issue than me would probably have a better answer than that. But people, be cognizant of the fact that your animals, your pets that you love, at any given time can be prey for coyotes and bobcats and bear and bald eagles. These videos on the platform of people taking a video. Oh, how nice, my cat has a new friend on the back porch. And there's this 2.5 foot, 3 foot bald eagle sitting on the cap rail, and the cat is sitting on the cap rail 3 feet from it. And I'm thinking, are you stupid? This cat has no chance against that bald eagle, none, because eagles all over the world will routinely hunt lone wolves. They're not going to have a wolf pack, But if there's a lone wolf that's out there, the eagle, I know exactly how they killed him because I've seen these videos on the platform. The eagles will land, the eagles know instinctually. They grab the upper snout with one talon, right? And they grab that snout to control the mouth. And the wolves can't bite the talons because the talons go in between the wolf's canines. They grab this, and with the other talon, they pierce the back of the wolf, and they give it a pneumothorax. And while the wolf is struggling, the eagle has its mouth held at bay, and then in a matter of minutes, with each breath, the wolf gets a tension pneumothorax and dies. And after it dies, the eagles eat the tongue because their prized goal, killing a wolf, is the tongue. Look it up on the platform. So anyway, animals got to eat, but be careful, people. For God's sakes, if you're going to have a little Fifi dog, or if you got a smaller dog and it's not a big, grown, scary Rottweiler or a German Shepherd, for God's sakes, don't tie it up outside at night because you might find nothing left on the leash the next day. That goes for your cats and anything else. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the episode. See you again, friends, on the next episode of The Jersey Alchemist, where we just may get political.
Johnny, another great episode. Thank you so much. If you like what we're doing, people, press follow, like, and
subscribe.
And share.
And share.
Boniva.
Boniva.
Till next time.
Okay. Peace.